Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're having a great and wonderful day. Well, it seems California is on this hill of we want to collapse faster, and what I mean by that is that California is seemingly wanting to increase their minimum wage across, pretty much the entire border here by an extra $5. Because for whatever reason, California thinks it's a good idea to just simply, I don't know, increase it. Because these workers are idiots. Even though that they have lost thousands of jobs, and it's going to increase so. And I'm going to explain to you, even when I was a debate or conversation with some of the people here in my conversation on the minimum wage increase, it was actually, a lot of them had a very insightful and great debates, great conversations. Well, some others, I still had a decent one, but I think they're feigning in ignorance. So what we have here is this. California's minimum wage wipes out thousands of jobs. It says here that let's look at the new California wage for law for workers in fast food businesses and see how it's been working out. Professor Lee Hannigan has done some digging and writes about his findings in this piece for Independent Institute. He observes that 9,500 jobs have already been wiped out, with more expected. More fast food job losses are coming as the new minimum wage took effect earlier this month. This includes losses at Pizza Hut and Round Table, which are in the process of firing nearly 1,300 delivery drivers. El Pollo Loco and Jack in the Box announced that they will speed up the use of robotics, including robots that will make salsa and cook fried foods. With a solid proof that their compassionate legislation is causing workers to lose their jobs, will any of the bosses who support this law call for its repeal? Well, I don't think the Republicans here at all, or even the Libertarians, have a ghost chance in hell of actually having this happen. But I think they're going to have to. Because, again, these Californian people, they're all idiots, right? They're not intelligent. Because when it comes down to it, is like, what do you expect is going to happen? Now, I understand that businesses and people need to work in a higher paying job. But again, you shouldn't, if you have a family, which we're going to get into that, by the way. If you have a family and you're working at McDonald's, you're an idiot. Don't go there. There are other jobs that you can go to that have a higher paying job or whatever. Sure, you may have to work more, but don't be stupid. Like, it's not that hard. And what we have here is this. Again, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and other fast food chains are raising prices after the state raises minimum wage. Since California favorite fast food chains have been raising their prices after a divisive state law was passed last year, raising their workers' minimum wage to $20 an hour. It's not last year. I don't know why they have last year. This is the reason why you don't use this Microsoft Start or whatever crap, because it's really dog crap. It was not last year. That was just like literally maybe a few weeks ago. And I know on April 1st, a new California law signed by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, which is destroying the state, last September made it mandatory for fast food chains to pay their employees at least $20 per hour. Fast food workers in California now have one of the highest minimum wages in the country after the wage was increased, despite already having one of the highest $15 per hour in the United States before the law took effect. So, now all these places are raising prices. The state isn't making it easy, Chipotle Chief Executive Brian Nicole told the outlet. Prices at fast food eateries have increased by 10% overall, outpacing all other states. The firm found after analyzing thousands of U.S. restaurants across $70 large chains. Between mid-February and mid-April, Chick-fil-A raised its prices by 10 cents, and Starbucks raised them by 7.8%. Shake Shack by 7.7%. Chipotle is by 7.9%. Et cetera. So yeah, a lot of these places are increasing their prices, if not by 10 cents, if not more. Sometimes a little bit lower than others, but I digress, it's increasing. And what we have here, as well, is that fast food operators rushing to use AI in the wake of minimum wage hikes. Oh, what's that? That's incredible. So that was what I was talking about earlier before, like in my last video, that they're going to use automations because it's going to be too expensive. And this is what's going to end up happening here. Funny enough, before I went to our last night our last night actual concert with my friends here at one of the places in Sacramento, and it was before we went to the actual concert at hand. We went to Korean barbecue. Love, great place. Go to Korean barbecue. You love it. It'll change your life. But we went there, and there was already a robot delivering people stuff on a tray. Right? That's what was going on. And if you think that there's not going to be more of these robots taking places of, people, putting on trays or replacing them to do work, you're sadly mistaken. This is what's going to happen here. And it says relatively few appear to have recorded to layoffs, in part because many were already staffed at bare bones levels. So to hold the line on further prices increases, a growing number of fast food operators are now racing to install as much automation as they can afford. So that's what's going to go on here. Now, what we have here is that San Diego's service workers demand $25 minimum wage. So, we're going to go over here. I'm going to show you the actual video clip of them demanding it, and it's insane. We'll go over it together.
Celebrates International Workers' Day, drawing millions of workers throughout the world to the streets, demanding fair pay and better working conditions.
Here in San Diego, hundreds of service workers, from cooks to janitors to hotel staffers, took part. CBS 8's Richard Allen has more on the specific demand they're making and the support they're receiving.
And this May Day, workers here are calling on the city of San Diego to mandate a minimum wage of $25 an hour for service workers, a move that would boost wages for thousands of employees at local hotels, the convention center, and event centers like Petco Park and Snapdragon Stadium. Raising their signs and their voices, hundreds of San Diego's service workers marched through downtown San Diego, demanding a nearly 50% increase in the current citywide minimum wage of $16.85 an hour. Among them, Juan Carlos, a cook at the Hilton Bayfront.
We're fighting for janitors, we're fighting for hospitality, we're fighting for all stagehands. All these people are behind the scenes, making it happen, making things happen for everyone's entertainment. I think we should be compensated a little more for our work.
Marching from Bayfront Park in front of the Hilton, through the streets to the Civic Center. Many of these workers pointed to the recently passed pay hike for California's fast food workers.
If McDonald's can make $20 an hour and we bust our butts and we're running around taking care of tables and taking care of our customers, why can't we?
Well, this is what I want to actually start talking about too as well, because this is always going to have an effect of it constantly getting higher and higher. Because here's the thing: when you have the restaurant workers going to have to be paid more as well, guess what's going to happen? The restaurant workers are going to be, again, they're going to have all these issues, which we have here. It says employers cutting hours and hiring less to offset minimum wage wise. So what's going to end up happening here is the restaurant workers are also going to get fired. They're going to get laid off or what have you, and then they're going to be replaced by automations or what have you. That's what's going to end up happening. And to add insult to injury is because if you're going to be demand $25 an hour, then what's going to stop the actual fast food restaurants going up to $25 an hour? It's a never-ending cycle of these people constantly demanding higher and higher wages. And eventually, like I said to this one individual, why not just pay everybody $40 or $50 an hour, which would equal to around 80 to 70 to 80K a year, and that will fix it. But no, you won't do that, because we all know if you do that, it would destroy the economy, and you bloody know it.
April Bushard, a single mom of 3 young kids, works at Petco Park's Lexus Club and struggles to make her $3,600 a month rent.
I'm scraping just to pay my bills, my rent, everything. It's really hard.
Los ricos don't want to pay you, then they can clean the buildings themselves.
Now, here's another really stupid thing here, too. And I understand that people should be paid a minimum wage, but if you are a single parent, if you are a mother, or if you are anybody of this stature, go and find a job that pays more. I hate to break it to you, but you shouldn't be working in fast food or whatever, especially in San Diego or LA or San Francisco. You should not be doing these jobs that are paying you nothing. You should be constantly looking for a job. Now, I can understand maybe doing a job like this right now just to make some money before you can look for another job that pays more. But why are you settling for a job that is paying you $18 a year, if not $20 a year, where you can barely make rent when you can go find a job that pays you more? There are jobs that you will pay you like $40, $50 an hour where you can just sit on your ass at home and do nothing. But you need to find a better job. I don't understand why you ladies want to go out and just sit there and want to be working at these other jobs when you could be looking for a job that pays you more. It makes no sense. You're a single mom. You need to provide for your children. This is gonna have a huge discussion on tomorrow, because this is what irritates me with single women. The audacity is the fact that you have to go out and look for a better job. If I was a single father and I had to go pay for money or do something, the last bloody thing I'm going to do is go work a minimum wage job. Now, I will do it until I actually have to go and I can put some type of food on the table, right? But at the end of the day, I'm going to constantly be looking for that job that is paying $40, $50 an hour, or 50 hours a week. I know somebody that is a father, that's not a single father, but is a father, and he's being paid a decent amount of money, but it's hard labor. But you're going to have to do that to pay the bills. Ladies, get off your ass and start working, because you're not, this is not going to work.
Lorena Gonzalez is chief officer of the California Labor Federation, representing more than 2 million workers statewide.
We know in San Diego the rent's too high and wages are too low.
She's hopeful that San Diego City Council will consider this proposed wage ordinance for $25 an hour for service workers.
It's time that we really lift up these workers who, all during the pandemic, we called essential. We relied on them. They continue to do work. It's service workers, people who keep us happy, keep the tourism economy going, and it's time to pay them what they deserve.
And while there's no definite timeline, now that this proposed ordinance has been drafted, workers here are hopeful that City Council will consider it and vote on it as soon as possible.
Now, this is a huge problem, because he's like, oh, I'm hoping that we're going to raise the prices. I'm hoping it's going to do all this and that, right? Well, guess what? Expect your hours to get cut. Expect people to hire less. Expect people to lay you off. You guys just and expect prices, especially at restaurants, to increase. If you increase minimum wage across the board, then that means everything else gets increased. It's either you're going to get laid off, they're going to be hiring you less, or they're going to increase the prices, which makes everybody else suffer. It has a constant negative effect. And this is what I think they just don't teach economics or anything at all about in high school or in general. Because these guys are like, oh, let's just do this. Well, what are the negative ramifications of that? Oh, it's simple. Because when you increase these prices, when you ask for more, things have to go up. If the actual markets cannot supply what for that minimum wage increase, then they're going to have to increase the prices or lay you off. This is what's going to happen. As I said, minimum wage wipes out thousands of jobs. You're going to end up wiping more jobs out. You're going to end up raising more prices. You're going to, you're going to introduce more AI. You're going to have this. Again, as I said, cutting more hours and hiring less. These people do not understand what's going on. They see the actual increase of prices happening across the board, and then they're also seeing the fact that people are getting laid off, and they're still like, let's demand more money. Let's add more money to it and have it be even more catastrophic. By the way, as I said before, this is not done. This is only after a month, guys. This is after a full month of them just doing this. By the way, a full month. It's just begun. Wait, no, I don't even think it's been a full month, to be honest with you. maybe a little bit less. No, it's been a full month. It's been a full month. And it's not going to stop. It's still continuing. If you guys increase this, it's going to get significantly worse. It's going to go pound on the issue. You people are dumb. You are incredibly dumb. And what I've noticed there were some guys that were asking and debating for it too. So those guys don't get any slack from me either. You're idiots is just as dumb as the women. But why was it the majority of you ladies demanding for this, by the way? Do you even understand the actual ramifications? You think you're not going to pay rent now? What do you think is going to happen to your rent? Your rent's also going to increase while your pay increases. You're going to be paying the same amount regardless. If not, you'll be paying less. You people do not understand what's going on here, and this is the horrible ramifications and reality that's going to happen to you. Again, if this happens, you'll be more poor than you ever could have been. Stop this. Look for better jobs. And I know it's difficult. I know you might be scraping by, but you have to look for better jobs. You just have to. Either demand a pay raise, which, by the way, not the minimum pay raise, not doing this across the board, but demand a pay raise so that way you get extra, so you can either make more or go find a better job. That's just the way it is. If you can't do that, then that's too bad for you. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, 'cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.